Hey everybody, welcome to Fantasy Sports Insight, or FSI. I am McKinley412, one of the NHL coaches here, and the NHL is back. Super excited about that. Even though it is only a 2-game slate, it is exciting to still have hockey back on the classic slates. So with only a 2-game slate, you got to make sure that you're being very different if you want to be solo taking down one of these GPPs. But I think ownership will be pretty spread out here tonight just because both games are very even on the money line. So if you're new to NHL DFS and you want to learn a little bit more about it, some different tips, tricks, strategies, different resources that you can use, I got a video out that I posted last night right here on the FSI channel talking a little bit more about it. So let's just dive right into the slate here. It is only 2 games, so I will go ahead and talk about all 4 teams, their line combinations, different correlations that you can use in terms of your roster construction. And we'll go on from there. So let's look at the odds real quick. Like I already said, very even matchups here tonight. Rangers a slight favorite at home. Same with the Kings, slight favorite at home. Nobody is plus on the money line. So that just shows you how even these matchups are expected to be. The Rangers Lightning should see fewer goals than the other game, just because, they boast 2 of the best goaltenders in the entire world in Shesterkin and Vasilevsky. Golden Knights and Kings, they don't have the goalie, power or caliber that these 2 teams do. So we'll go through each of these 4 teams, talk about their line combinations, and so let's just start with the New York Rangers. I went ahead and just liked some of the different things and the power play units so that we can kind of see them here. Kreider, Zibanejad, and Kakko, that is going to be a pretty popular line. Correlation as well. Even though they're going up against Vasilevsky, it's still only a 2-game slate. So you're going to see ownership, especially on these top lines of all 4 teams. Kreider and Zibanejad, that's probably going to be your best correlation play if you are playing 2 guys or more on the Rangers here tonight. Kreider and Zibanejad, they're going to be skating together at even strength. They're also going to be skating together on the power play. Pairing them with a guy like Adam Fox on defense could also be a nice correlation play because he also skates on that power play unit and is the top pair defenseman for them. So a Kreider, Zibanejad, and Fox combination, I would assume is going to be fairly popular tonight as a 3-man stack. Throwing in Kakko in there, I think Kakko is one of my favorite value plays on the entire slate. Maybe I'll even make him the cover boy for this video. I haven't even decided yet. But Kakko, I think, is just far too cheap. Let's look at his salary. $3K. Yeah, far too cheap. He was looking really solid in preseason. I think he's going to be a nice breakout candidate for a player to get 20, maybe even 25 goals this season. He skates on the top line with Zibanejad and Kreider. He's going to get lots of opportunities to get on the score sheet and to shoot the puck. He doesn't skate on the top power play unit, though. He does skate on that second power play unit, so he is still getting power play time, which is awesome. It's just not with Zibanejad and Kreider, which, kind of disappointing, but still, at $3K, I think he's one of the best value plays on the entire slate. The second line here, Panarin, Trocheck, and Kravtsov. Panarin's really the one guy that I have interest in. Panarin's a safer cash play. Trocheck's more of a GPP play. He doesn't shoot the puck a whole lot, but he certainly can, put the puck in the back of the net when he does shoot the puck. So he's more of a GPP. I think this line in general is more GPP. Kravtsov, he's not lived up to the hype that he had, but he's kind of getting like a second chance here. So maybe, coming back into the NHL after being in the KHL last year, maybe he can figure something out. He can live up to that hype that he was. But this is more of a GPP line for me for the Rangers. Another GPP line would be the third line here. Lafreniere and Hedl. These would be the 2 guys that I would be targeting. Gaudreau, he's fine, but I don't have a whole lot of interest in him. Hedl was shooting the puck a lot during the preseason. He kind of came on into the public's eye last year during the playoffs when he was scoring a handful of goals, getting on the score sheet, and he kind of seemed to be carrying it over a little bit into the preseason here. I liked what I saw from him. He was shooting the puck, like I said, a lot more. He had a couple of games where he hit that 5-shot bonus, which is fantastic. And, I don't think Even though it is only a 2-game slate, I don't think that the third line for the Rangers going up against Vasilevsky and the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have been in the Stanley Cup final for like 4 years in a row, is going to see a lot of ownership. And I think it's Lafreniere's birthday. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I read earlier that it's his birthday here, his 21st birthday. So maybe they go out and they have a little birthday magic. I guarantee somebody out here watching this video is going to be thinking birthday narrative. Let's do it. Put them into my lineup. But yeah, Lafreniere and Hedl, I think would be two guys that you want to be targeting from this third line. All the fourth line guys for any of the teams here, those are going to be your GPP plays. At best, do not play them in cash. Don't go from there. You can see their defensive lines here. Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba. Fox, Miller, and Trouba would be the three guys that I would be targeting. Fox is just far too cheap. He's going to be closer to like 7K by the midpoint of the season for sure. But he's more of your offensive defenseman. He's going to be, scoring goals. He's going to be getting assists. He's going to be shooting the puck. He was at a point per game pace. So he was either getting a goal or an assist on average every single game last year. I guess he wasn't shooting the puck as much by the end of the season, but I mean, that was the playoff series against Tampa Bay, which, he's playing Tampa Bay here. But you can see the upside is there with his shots on net. I'm not concerned about it at all. So Fox is going to be one of the elite defenders on the slate, but you do have to pay up for it. Trouba, he's similar to Fox, just like a Fox light, but he's going to be blocking more shots than Fox would be, so maybe he can get that block shot bonus for you, and he's not going to be seeing the score sheet as often as Fox. So take what you want, decide which is more important to you from there. And K'Andre Miller, 3.1K, this could be another one of my favorite value plays on the entire slate. I think he's going to be a big breakout candidate this year in terms of defensive production, in terms of fantasy, shooting the puck, blocking shots, getting on the score sheet as well. I thought he had a fantastic preseason. The beat writers that I follow were hyping this guy up throughout the preseason, just how good he was looking during games. So I think 3.1K is a nice value for him. Get him cheap because I think his price is going to be going up. On the other side of this game is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's see if I can find their lineup here. Here we go. Stamkos, Point, Kucherov. The Lightning are very top loaded in terms of their star power. They just jam all their guys on their top line with Stamkos, Point, and Kucherov. But all three guys also share the same power play unit. So you get the extra upside possibility if you are stacking this top line. I could see them being a little bit under-owned. I know it's a 2-game slate, and I know it's the superstar stud power, top line, but they are on the road and they're going up against Shesterkin in net. So maybe they do see some reduced ownership. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very popular trio combination that you're going to see throughout the entire season. One downfall about them is that Point and Stamkos both are forward or center eligible. But maybe that's another reason why people don't want to jam both of those guys in, because they don't want to take up both their center spots with Tampa Bay. So this top line for Tampa Bay is going to be the people who you're going to be targeting. For GPP, you can move on down to guys like Killorn or Nemestikov or Colton. Nemestikov and Colton are going to be sharing a power play unit on that power play too. Killorn is going to be sharing power play time with these top guys, with Stamkos, Point, and Kucherov. So maybe, you throw Killorn in there. He doesn't have a whole lot of upside. He's not going to be shooting the whole puck a lot. But he's capable of getting on the score sheet. But after this top line, I think all three of these guys are GPP. I'm not really thrilled about any of these 9 players in cash at all. The other guy that you're going to be are two guys that you want to target on Tampa Bay. It's going to be Hedman and Sergachev. Sergachev you could pair with Nemesnikov or Colton. He's going to be skating on that second power play unit with them, quarterbacking the blue line from there. And then Hedman is just Hedman. If you've played NHL DFS in the past, Hedman is an absolute beast, 6.1K, but 104 points in 105 games last season. He gets on the score sheet. He's going to score goals. He's going to get assists. He's going to hit the block shot, or he's going to hit the shot on goal bonus at times. He's going to get the block shot bonus at times. He's going to skate 25 minutes a night and have the opportunity. So Hedman is just an elite defenseman in terms of fantasy production, but he is on the pricier end. Going into the other game, Vegas and the LA Kings. Let's find Vegas. Here we see them first. There we go. Smith, Eichel, Kessel are leading the top line. This Vegas is like the complete opposite of Tampa Bay. Vegas has like 3 lines that all can, generate offensively. Like Marchessault and Carlson as your third line, totally fine. Maybe they don't see a whole lot of ownership because people would think like, oh, they're the third line. It's fine. One word of warning, one caution that I do say with Vegas is I read earlier from one of the Vegas, it might be from Jesse here, who is the reporter for Vegas. The coach said that he does not want any of his guys playing more than 20 minutes a night. And that limits opportunity. That limits, obviously the amount of time that guys are on the ice. And when you're not on the ice, you're not generating shots on net. You're not getting on the score sheet, whatever it is. So that is a little bit word of caution. He doesn't want his forwards going more than 20 minutes a night. But they are a very balanced team. I could see all, these 3 top lines all getting on the score sheet. So, Smith, Eichel, Kessel is probably going to be taking the most ownership. But maybe going to like the second line or the third line is a way to be a little bit more different. Howden's kind of the oddball out of everybody. He doesn't get any power play time, and he's just kind of like the oddball of the top 6 in general. The power play lines for Vegas are kind of wonky, and like Smith and Eichel are going to be skating on the same power play unit as Stevenson and Stone, and Kessel is going to be skating on a power play unit with Marchessault and Carlson. So you got guys from lines 1, 2, and 3 all skating on the same power play unit. It's just very jumbled and messy. Great for cash, I think, because say you jam in Smith, Eichel, and Stone, you're going to have the upside of, all of them being on the same power play unit and maybe getting a trifecta goal there. But you also kind of give yourself a little bit of a floor because, if Vegas scores a goal, well, you got exposure to the top line and you have exposure to the second line. Are you going to guaranteed, have one of those guys in if Vegas scores a goal in the top 2 lines? No. Maybe Steven scores a goal that's assisted by 2 defensemen. It's possible. So, but still, it kind of covers your bases a little bit in terms of cash. But yeah, Vegas I think is very nice. But when I think of Vegas and I think of their fantasy, I think of their defenders. Their defenders are fantastic in terms of fantasy production. Pietrangelo, Theodore, McNabb, Whitecloud, and Martinez, all 5 of those guys are certainly in play. McNabb and Martinez are more of your shot blocking guys. You're looking for like block shot bonuses with those guys. Pietrangelo, he's more of like your offensive defenseman. He's going to be, shooting the puck more, getting on the score sheet, with goals, with assists, quarterbacking the top power play unit. Theodore, he's more of, peripherals doing it all. He's not going to be on the score sheet as much, but 52 points in 78 games is nothing to scoff at all. But he's going to be a guy that's shooting the puck and getting the block shot bonus. Pietrangelo is probably not going to be getting the shot block bonus as much as a guy like Theodore. And then Whitecloud is just kind of like Theodore light, but maybe without the offensive production. He can shoot the puck, he can block shots, and he's going to see some time. Whitecloud, he's lower priced for a reason at 3.9K, but I think all 5 of these guys, if you're building 150 lines, throw all 5 of these guys in your player pool. Even if you're building 20 lines, I think you can make a case that all 5 of these defenders could be in your player pool because they're all just so great in terms of fantasy production. On the other side of that game, it is the LA Kings. Let me pull them up here. There's your power play units. If Roy is getting power play time, he is skating on that 4th line for Vegas, so it could be an intriguing, dart, one-off play that you could be going. I don't know. We'll see. But here's your line rushes for the LA Kings. Fiala, Kopitar, and Kempe are going to be your obvious target. Much like Tampa Bay and their top line, this top line all skates together at even strength, and they all skate together at, They all skate together on the power play. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word power play there. But Fiala, Kopitar, Kempe, they're going to be a popular trio. In cash, maybe only pick 2 of these guys. Because if you full line stack and they just don't do anything, well, you're done. it's over. You're probably not going to be cashing that night. But, if two guys, get some shot production out of them, get some shot production out of the two guys that you do play, you can still save yourself even if they don't score a goal. But this top line is going to be popular. They're playing at home in a higher scoring game. All share power play unit time. I could see them being popular. What is their price tag at? I honestly forgot. Fiala 6K, Kempe 5.3. Kempe is a guy who routinely, and ask the guys in the Discord, we played Kempe a lot last season because he was always so cheap. He was just like a perfect mid-range play who was going to shoot the puck a ton, possibly get that 5-shot bonus for you. He played on the top line. He got the top power play unit. It was great, and he was lower owned because, he played on the West Coast, and people don't like to wait for the West Coast games. But yeah, this top line is all going to be in play. Second line could be in play as well. Arvidsson would be the one guy that is standing out from there. But with LA, it's just a lot of young guys, a lot of young, hyped up prospects who are still trying to, get their footing into the NHL, into just like the speed of the game, bigger players, all that stuff after college. I'm talking about guys like Byfield and Lizotte. Iafallo, he's been around for a while. He could be a nice cheap play if you want to go there. But as far as like fantasy production, the Kings are tough. I don't have a whole lot of interest in them outside of that top line of Fiala, Kopitar, and Kempe. Here's your power play units for them. This second power play unit is not thrilling in my opinion, but yeah, it's the guys I just mentioned. It's the top line and Arvidsson and Doughty for that top power play unit. So that kind of like wraps things up. Those are your four teams. So maybe Tampa Bay is going to be. Oh, one thing I do have to mention: goaltending. Don't stress about goaltending. There's going to be slates. Obviously, where it's like there's going to be a really popular goaltender. I'm talking about this one in particular. Shesterkin at 6.9K is just laughably cheap. I don't care that he's playing against Tampa Bay. This is like one of the greatest goaltenders in the entire world, and we're getting him at 6.9K. 6.9K is reserved for like the backup goaltenders or the goaltenders that, just got called up from the minor leagues. I don't know why he's so cheap. All last season, he was probably above 8K. Let's see if my memory is even correct. Yeah, he was 8.2K all last season. For some reason, he's 6.9 at home. Tampa Bay, they don't have, like Andres Palat anymore. They lost a couple of their guys through trades and through free agency. So, yeah, he's going to be a very, very popular owned goaltender. So maybe Tampa Bay, that Kucherov, Shesterkin, or the Kucherov Point and Stamkos line gets even lower ownership because a lot of people are going Shesterkin. Maybe that's your GPP line right there. So Shesterkin's going to be there. But for slates moving forward, don't stress about goalie. NHL's a weird sport. It's a oddly shaped puck. It's on ice. There's deflections happening all over the place. Weird things happen. Don't build your lineup around one goalie. This slate in cash, Shesterkin is going to see a lot of ownership. I'm just going to say that right now. A lot of ownership. But on other slates, goaltending ownership's pretty spread out. You're just kind of hoping to get lucky with the buck. So that kind of covers everything. Thanks for watching. Good to have you back. Good to be back for the NHL. We'll have videos each day moving forward. So please come check us out here at FSI. We'd love to have you. The Discord's always active with guys talking throughout the day. Contact me on Twitter if you need to. My DMs are open at McKinley_412. So as always, thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest, and we'll see you in the next video.